Nondu aboy mamunyina ajo eba nondu kasebo ene enkomotwetwe so ewo UTV so ene yewode anwumre yatena sine de aseda ema this way chocolate drink sanse nya bia eboa ma yahoden ema yetumi eyede eye ade asan de na didi ehu hia ti pe this way de bina num ebeboa ma obada ade be chew enso special mineral water no so krojan onoma emfa ha obia emfa ma yatena sine de ba no didi makote no ebi enie
Panya be de ekira woda edom kumana no ewo mrahye bedwafie abra ene omokọ asetena no sorry ya wode tu dwa se de nansen kane edundum ekoso no eyade a eha adwen yi pa
sanso na odan wani ekodom kumana so ewo mrahye bedwam so a kane so afọ be de ekira hwe nyam akane ensem so eye honorable John Jinapo aka se nansen ayese preso bi eya akoso ewo mrahye bedwam no so efasumdwe emma
na anti-LGBTQI+ emra sebejafo apase enra na omopase ye no Ghana de shiachro madwen afa
sanso na honorable Okudjeto ablakwa HSE ebra ensu ebefa amanfo ewo Northton eye constituency a eho ono emra sebejwani no ensembi ekoba ese sika bi ekopie mu ebibre mu atoy mpedifo de beboae na hu kuntebo ne obisa ho asem ewo mrahye bedwam
weni nsembi eka ho ene nkomodie na anwumre ye de ba besomo ewo nondubre mu abna ba ye nya no nimidi nene
enim ado
afe ye bora ensem no emu panya be de ekira edom kuma no woda no eye onmunyafo Imano Amakofibo a abra ene emrahye bedwafo eko asetena no ene opanyin sorry ya wode asem eto first deputy speaker enim metre onmunyafo Joseph Oseibusu na asem okakere no ene se nansen kane edundum ekoso no eyade a ano eden pa na okopie mu wo mrahye bedwafie honom a wose department ahodo bebre na na edum kane a wo ho ama ebinum kraka elevator mu omuntimi ensi form na wotre mu se ebeya nkampanyufo nhwe sa asem ne nkamani free honom ansa na omo atoa omudwumadi so.
The whole parliamentary building is off. In fact, as I speak, 5 and 6th floor, we have people stuck in. I just got the fire service to run in there. So it's important we know what is happening around us. The light is off, except for this chamber, and I don't want us to pretend. Some people are stuck in the lift. On the 5th and 6th floor. In fact, I just came in because we just got the fire service people to try to get them open the elevator. And it's very serious. And I think this house, before we continue doing business, we must know the crisis we face.
Speaker, my respected friend is doing the right thing at the wrong time. With the greatest of respect, I am just coming from the office. I didn't experience that. I don't doubt you do. But however, Honorable Bua, on such an occasion, the first point of call is the Marshal Office. Yeah, so if you have done that, let's all as leadership continue to ensure the needful is done. No, that's what we should do. I think we can go on with our debate. Why the needful is being done.
Please listen up. You've provided information.
Let's not generate any
panic. I did that to let colleagues, members of parliament, know what is happening. I've already informed the marshal and those that are important to know. I just came here to let members know for their safety because I care about them.
Yet one seven so da ho ewo mrahye bedwam kane soafoa osan mrahye bedwani ewo eye NDC amanyoku no honorable John Jinapo onso de nsem atudwa se nanse I said preso eye nkane ho nsem no eye adoso do no chese ewo se o man ye hye se base anyinam nkane ho nsem ewo ohawa yehwe ni hu ni yenka se bia ye behye ebre a ene we benya kane na we die beduma ni yehu nanye se wo hwa na edum a ho nsembia no ehye bia ni wo se ebasa enya dia eboa.
The minority side has been monitoring the power situation for the past 1 month, and it appears, based on information available to us, that the power sector is collapsing. Since 2nd February, we are talking of about 1 month now, there have been persistent and consistent load shedding by the generation companies. Indeed, the load shedding is getting worse by the day. The very day His Excellency the President was delivering the State of the Nation address and boasting, at that very period, the utility companies were shedding load. The situation appears to be exacerbating. Yesterday alone, there was a whopping 530 megawatts of deficits, culminating in curtailment of power to Côte d'Ivoire, to Burkina Faso, and to Togo. You would attest that there was some massive darkness yesterday. Today at 12 p.m., load shedding would commence again. Our investigation indicates that some of the thermal plants are down. Specifically, TAPCO is down, TICO is down, and so they are not generating enough power. But more importantly, there's a lack of fuel in the system. Because of the financial constraints, government has not been able to procure adequate fuel to fire some of our thermal plants, culminating in the load shedding that we're experiencing. 1 month of load shedding is more than enough. This is not sporadic, this is continuous, this is persistent, and we think that the handlers of the power sector should do the onerous thing by informing the people of Ghana so they can plan ahead of time. This deliberate fixation on denial and deceiving the people of Ghana can no longer hold. We therefore call on President Akufo-Addo, Dr. Bawumia, and this government to do the needful by telling the people of Ghana the truth. We also call on government to look for money wherever they can find that money to procure heavy fuel oil and other sources of fuel to power the thermal plants. We cannot have this quantum of thermal complementarity and still shed load.
Na saa kane dundumedum ya ho na onumunyafo Samo Abujinapo awoye soafo a wo hye eye ensase ne oboade ne paso ababe kasa no wotwemu se saa kane dundumedum a NDC fo eye hu dede kasafa honomu nyai esanse omapenso no de na nyenyenyenyenyenye wose Ghana fo gusu kai pa se omapenso no omomomo eda esum kabi mu ntisisa nansen ye dundum kane kakra ma omoma na nyese omapenso na eye echen enne.
Mr. Speaker, when it comes to agriculture, Mahama's best agricultural growth was some 1.7%. In fact, crop sector grew at -%. Mr. Speaker, today, agriculture is growing about more than 6%. Mr. Speaker, when it comes to education, as I've just been articulating, in the educational sector, Akufo-Addo is investing more in education than Mahama has done. Mr. Speaker, even with COVID, and the global geopolitical situation, indices to indices, the Akufo-Addo economy post-COVID and the Mahama economy without all the external factors, Akufo-Addo's economy is far better than Mahama's economy. So let the point be made clearly. Nobody is running from Akufo-Addo's record. Bawumia said it yesterday, and I was present at the inauguration of the National Campaign and Manifesto Committees of the new Patriotic Party for 2024 general election. And he said, and I paraphrase him, he said, we are going to prosecute our campaign on the basis of Akufo-Addo's record. And so a vote for Bawumia should be a vote for Akufo-Addo. And Mr. Speaker, when they were pushed down the wall and when they were pinned down, they said 24-hour economy. Is that not what they said? 24-hour economy. Mr. Speaker, the last time they were in government, the last time President Mahama was at the helm of affairs of this country, Mr. Speaker, for 4 years, the Honorable John Jinapo, Member of Parliament for Yape Kosogo, talks about lights going off yesterday and talks about lights going off this afternoon. Mr. Speaker, lights went off yesterday, that is correct. Lights went up this afternoon, that is correct. Ghanaians went through inconveniences yesterday, that is correct. They will go through inconveniences as a result of lights up this afternoon. Mr. Speaker, that is correct. But Mr. Speaker, Ghanaians certainly do not have a short memory. They do not have a short memory. For 4 years, what we experienced yesterday And what we are experiencing this afternoon, we are experiencing for 4 continuous years. And what are they telling us, Mr. Speaker? Where are we beginning the comparison from? A comparison of doomsday of yesterday, of today, of 48 hours, as opposed to 4 good years? Mr. Speaker, and what is more, Mr. Speaker? What is more about the 24-hour economy? At the time the lines went off for 4 years, Mr. Speaker, carpenters could not work. Welders could not work. Mr. Speaker, we all saw stories of cold stores closing down. We saw ice water sellers who could not look after their families. Mr. Speaker, thousands and billions of small industries had to close down. 4 years, you could not provide a 12-hour economy. You couldn't put the light on for 12 hours. Ghanaians do not have economy for 12 hours. Welders do not have economy for 12 hours. They are coming to tell us about 24-hour economy. So we can let them come again. They certainly do not have a vision.
Yet one service at home, Mrashibidre, New General Mamma for North to Honorable Samuel Okujoto Abrakwa, Edin Simbi, Ebisa, Mrashibidre say. Ebra eye sutade kese be akosomo sutade dam no eyiri ye efa amanfo wo ne constituency no sika bi a ewo se na eba na ebebo amanfo no eno ye ECOWAS commission ena edi se sika no ba na America sika no $200,000 do cheze sika no eho ensem eho nkomotwetwe no emu enhyeda ena ho ebra onabo abna osei ekofa asase we ba no se eho dika eho di bisa se empanifo yi ano ekire se sika no baby a fire.
Is our president neglecting the spillage victims in Mepe, in Bato, in Dofo, in Southton, in Centraton, in Keta, in Afajato, in North Dai, South Dai, in Esojama, in Kru, in the Savannah region, and other places. Fellow Ghanaians do not deserve this. Mr. Speaker, as I speak to this unpardonable and unforgivable neglect, I also want to place on record that we are still waiting for this government to confirm what exactly they have done to the $200,000 that ECOWAS approved when they applied to them. Mr. Speaker, I have the intercepted ECOWAS communication to the President here in my hands. Abuja, December 13, 2023. Request for support, Akosobo Dam spillage flood victims. I refer to your letter with reference NDHQ RFA 93 of 31st October 2023 on the above mentioned subject. The President of the ECOWAS Commission acknowledges receipt of your letter and expresses its sincere sympathy and solidarity with the victims of the spillage of the Akosombo Dam. The President of the ECOWAS Commission notes with concern the magnitude of the disaster as evidenced in the report you attached, which shows that almost 36,000 persons were affected. In view of the huge humanitarian impact on the affected population, which forms part of ECOWAS core criteria for humanitarian assistance, the Commission has approved the sum of $200,000 United States to support the resilience building and recovery of the affected population, unquote. $200,000, 2.5 million Ghana cedis. Where is the money? Mr. Speaker, if you pay regard to page 6 of the 2024 budget, Mr. Speaker, they only accounted for the applications they have sent to the World Bank and to the Global Shield Against Climate Risk Fund. No mention of ECOWAS. Until we intercepted this letter, we didn't know that you had applied to ECOWAS. You hid that from this house. And now we don't know where the money is. We demand to know what has been done with this 2.5 million Ghana cedis, this $200,000 that ECOWAS released. We must know where the money is. If you will neglect us, you will mention us in the message of the State of the Nation. When others come to our aid, you will just forward the money to us, release the money for the people to get the relief that they urgently need. Mr. Speaker, it is not only flood victims who were abandoned. Even the Almighty, Mr. Speaker, the promise the President made to the Almighty that by March 6th this year, a few days from now, he will commission a cathedral in his honor. The President has disappointed the President. The President has disappointed the Almighty. And Mr. Speaker, as we speak, this cathedral, $58 million has gone into this cathedral. Mr. Speaker, what you see there is now the world's most expensive pit, as it's been described. $58 million. On the 4th of July, we wrote to the PPA to find out if the Public Procurement Authority knows anything about that project. They responded on the 5th of July, a copy of which I have here, that it did not go through the Procurement Authority. They have no knowledge of this project. And Mr. Speaker, we have sunk $58 million in only digging a pit. Imagine what $58 million can do, the number of factories, the jobs that it can create for our people.
Enra wukono enamrashe bedwafo etnase ehweye ma anti-LGBTQ+ emrano mo paseye na sesi anakase mampanyi ede ne nsabehya ase na etimi aye emra eno enene Ghana de hye atro madwen afaho.
Beye breka kranie na anti-LGBTQ+ ho sansem ekokoto mrase bedwafie na mrase bedwafie bobo ho ahwe hunu se asuso obegye atum anase wonje ntum na enra enenya ne ntie sempinfo sese no wanya bra ewo magani mu ania ka ne so mampire ne sabehya ase na adane mra UTV kasebo etie hugumonti subusa Ghana fo bi se ne ekomogia ne me aso na mohwe ne mu na monsa kan anase ne aba no mo wo ho nsem kan.
It's not, I don't see it to be reasonable for a normal human being to say that there is an opposite sex, yet I want my own sex to have a sexual interaction or intercourse with. And in our culture, in our tribe, everything about Africa, these things are not normal. So if they are going to pass this thing to law, I think it's really going to protect our name, protect our tribe, and everything about us as Africans and Ghanaians.
What I really have against them is say, omu ye no omu try so omu influence other people. Ashemu. And no, I'm against it. So the law now Parliament are passing very good. And I'm penny was so on to non signing. Say there will be some kind of discipline, some moral values be mine because with that thing, people who do that thing normally are not moral. Ube to me hear anything anyhow. Our mupe the Parliament at me pass there we no man penny and jatuma 1 year. Also on Jintumu, say ebe instill some discipline, any moral values, I share youth in him.
Oze bema dauda. Obane oba dauda. Do you got the question kware? Ye kocha kwa we don't ya accept this ana. And I mean I don't go to musu say all this wa muntu passing. Or train dey. Me open wa me say na. To ni pen na me open me say ma no. Say me ka what ma say. Because we as so say some phone do. Now when I'm Bema, now what the Bema is, what tries now, what's your masket, now you knew go. Until again, I say, bra Agnes. You can say, oh, my if you cry, I think they may ignore most of them. Oh, my, we win.
Me, Sadia, say a coso, Nansian, or Monday Sanyaman, a baby, and to me, me, mum, dear, me, for Sanyaman, of course, because that you say, a Bema and Crano. As you by me, a bed hard me, a bed caught a chiama or more mobile banyana, a quay via a quay kuchan Ghana. Over later, we are not here and ye
50, and you will be a babusu, a woman say a Sergeant Jumano and Yadipa. When you go boy and one boy said, when I'm worried. Ebansanka, Anka, Nipper be a new Yassi. Intermediate before super bill no.
My Monday engine to so barney or barbe worry. Ewo Bible mu kura se ni so oba ne oba ware ana be ma ne be ma ware eni Bible mu enti se ye gitum se eni se sa de ne eba so ewo Ghana enti ye expect o mampeni se so ye Kristo ni nko ade so tumi sign na ye tumi nya ye mfa ho dia no no ye last person o tumi sign a ye bem ye de ye be ka but ono no sign ma ya na ye confirm nti ye foa so ye nyina ye foa so say on sign ma ye ne ntumi nya ye mfa ahode wo saade no
Osofo hwe ya kwantimpon so sese eye honorable Francis Asenso Boache na kwantimpon a efi enkran ekọ tema no mu etremu ne no na wakokwan so akwa adwuma no sede esi ekọ ene bo ebeboa na kwan na tumi ademu ama oma mofa kwan so ekwan so jojo etumi akoso
tema motorway expansion interchange no phase 2 no eno ne me first site visitor meye as Minister for Roads. In time yes, I say project kese esomboma aban any Ghana man na if you say baby enka first no nanka e so traffic e wa hapa so nim say temani away and also na Habo City and road e de concrete and also capital city into project I best support to the economic development of the country and the international trade and everything. It's not me, yes, medical have half first, and some of my baby be na me buy so no and normal contractors na can na say bibi e cost kama na de na me can say ade ba ko a na nka we delay project we any tax issues be na aban ni contractor no say you do in so na itim kwan be fast be resolve that matter no na enra Japan ambassador me invite no ma ye meeting na ye meeting so no side issues we eba up amanyame adom ya kan bibia amanasi no betimi aboa pa ma entimi nkoso delays bia o project mi na mo person ka December na komo ewie na mama mati asese project here aban pa if you say ewie a amafo ho beto omo se omo kotema ko yi omo nyoma ekoye business ekoye omo industries any ade no e be ma smooth flow of traffic it will reduce delays and everything na be boa ama economy no so no akonkan
Yebeti na hani ahome kase ebono so yeba yebedi nkomo ye kwa basisia